Hey guys, welcome to the next video on shell scripting tutorial for beginners. In the last two videos, we have seen how to use functions in shell scripting. Now, in this video, to consolidate our knowledge which we have gained in the last two videos, we are going to take an example. And then from this example, some more concept will be clearer to you. So let's start with the example and then we will discuss about the concepts. So what we want is we want to check whether a file exists or not using our script. So whenever user runs this script with an argument, and this argument will be a name of the file, for example, and the script will check whether this file exists or not, and then it will print. Now this example we have seen in the last videos also, but in this video, we will use first of all functions and then we will use some more concept. So let's get started. So let's say our function name is does file exist or is file exist, right? So is file exist, and then we will just use these brackets and these curly brackets, right? Now we want to pass an argument, so the name of the file we want to pass as an argument. So what we are going to do is we will just declare a local variable. We can say it's file, right, or file name. You can name it anything, and this is our first argument. So $1 is the first argument to this function, right? This we have learned in the last video. Now we want to check whether this file exists or not, so we can use these double square brackets for that, right? Now in the previous video you also know that -f flag can be used to check whether the given file is a really file or a directory or whatever, right? So now we have this file variable, which is a local variable which comes from this argument. So we will check whether this file is really a file or not. So we will just say $file, and then this will give us true or false, right? Now notice I'm not giving any if conditions here, right? I'm going to use the return value. So this, if you are familiar with some other programming language, you may know the ternary operations. So we are checking whether one operation is true. Depending upon the result, if it's true, we will return some value, otherwise we will return some other value, right? So we will just use double AND operator, and then we will return 0. I will explain you what I'm writing, or I will return 1. Okay, so let me explain you what's happening with this line. So we already know that this can be used to check whether file exists or not, right? So we will either get true or false, or in the terms of this script we will either get 1 or 0. So when in the condition if file exists, we will get 1, right? Now if you know the program flow or how a program works, whenever we get 1 in the first condition and whenever there is AND here, so for example there is AND and we have the other condition, right? Or so condition 2, I will just write CON2, right? So whenever this is 1, right, so it's true here, and when it's true, then program flow is not going to check this one, or this will directly jumps to the OR condition, because we just want to see if this condition is true or not, right? So in the AND condition we will check if it's 0, then it goes to the next AND operator, which is this one. So if it would be 0, then it's going to go to the return 0 operation, because here is 0, and then if we are not getting 1 here, then program cannot move forward. So it's going to check whether the other condition is true or not, and so on, right? But here we know that first condition is already true, so it's going to directly go to the return 1 condition, right? And if it's false, for example, if it's false, then it's going to check the second condition, which is return true, and it gets the return 0 here, and then it's going to return 0, right? So in case of file doesn't exist, it will be 0, and then it's going to check the other part of the AND operation. If it's 1, it's already got its true value, so it's going to go to the next operation, which is in the OR operation. So first of all, we will check whether user has given any argument or not with the shell scripting, right? So we will once again use these double brackets, and then if you remember, this $hash, which is a built-in variable, is going to return us the number of arguments which are given with the script. So this is going to give us the number of argument, and if this number of argument is equal to 0, then we will say we want to do something, or we want to show some message to the user. So for this, I'm going to create some usage function, for example. So I'm going to just write usage here, and let's create this usage function here, for example, right? So usage, and then we will just use this curly brackets, and this just simply for example prints some message and exists. So we are going to print for example, so we will just echo this message that you need to provide an argument, and we will just give the usage of this script also. So we need to provide the name of the script and the file name, right? And if the file name is supplied and argument is, for example, more than 0, then we will go forward, right? And then what we are going to do in the next step, we will just check. So we will use if condition, and then we will call this function, but let's first give for example then, and we want to use else also here, so we will write else and then fi to end the if condition. So we will call this function. If file exists, we are going to get the true value, and then we will print the message. So here we will just give the first argument, so $1. Now bear in mind, this is the first argument of this function, and this is different. This is the first argument which is provided to the script, right? So this is the first argument because it's inside a function. This is the first argument provided to the function, right? And this is the first argument which is provided to the script, right? So these two declaration of $1 are different, okay? And then if file exists, we will just echo that file is found or file found. Otherwise we will just print file not found, right? So let's print file not found. Okay, now let's run the script. Let's first do ls here, list all the files which are there in my desktop directory. So there is only one file, which is the script itself, right? So let's create one file. So I'm going to just touch, for example, file1.txt here, okay, and then I'm going to press enter, and then I'm going to do ls, and now I have a file name called file1.txt. So I can just run my script, and then first of all, let's not give any argument here. we know that we need to give a file name as an argument with the script, but let's provide a wrong argument or no argument here, and then just press enter. And then it says you need to provide an argument. Usage is the script name and then the file name. And I also see this message that local command not found, because it's spelled wrong. So it should be local, not lacal or lacal, right? So this keyword should be local, right? So now next attempt, we will give the name of the file and then press enter, and now we will see file found. So what we have learned from this video or from this example, two things we have learned. We have already learned how to use functions, but we learned that this $1 and this $1 are different. This is for the argument which is provided with this one, right, with the calling of your script, and this is the argument which is provided to the function, right? And we have learned how we can use and or operation without the if conditions, right? You could have used this in different conditions also. So you could have, written if this is this and then return 0 or 1. This could be also done, but it can take more number of lines, right? So if you are not comfortable with this code, then you can always switch to if conditions, like normal if conditions, and then also you can get your result. Okay, so I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please rate, comment and subscribe, and bye for now.